All right, welcome back, everybody. We got the Card Lounge. Nasty Nick, Brock Lesnar, Barkley. I like it.
Yeah, Barkley's rubbing against the sofa here for some reason. Don't know what's going on there. So, trying a little new setup here.
Yeah.
You know, some people were complaining that our video quality, after the audio quality, we fixed that. And they're complaining about the video quality. It looks a little grainy because the way the iPhone had to zoom in so much for the, when we did all the clips. So, trying something new, see if this one works. So people can complain about that.
Yeah, it shows we're listening to the fans, right?
That's what we do.
Putting effort in, trying to make it better. I like that. So, Brock, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Man, no words.
Yeah, no words.
Usually doesn't stop when you're around.
I know.
So you must be bored today.
Summer mode, summer vacation.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's 2 more weeks.
All right.
Till you go on vacation. We're not going to say where because,
They'll stalk us.
Yeah, we don't want that. Our millions
California.
of fans, all over the place.
That's right. Don't bother us on our family vacation.
We need our private time.
Yeah.
So, we get it. So what's new?
Not much. Got the blackjack show coming up, right?
We do.
I think I drive past that sign on 422 all the time, and it feels good.
Yeah, about eight more days, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is my dog okay?
So, yeah, he's sneezing. So, 8 more days to the big Berks County Card Show. Got some good stuff going on there. June 21st. If you're local in the area, head on up. Blackjacks between 11 and 5. We got some, giveaways. $100 shopping giveaway. You can buy some cards there with. That's sponsored by Halter Landscaping. And then we're giving away 50 repacks to the first 50 kids who show up. We got some of the other dealers at the show are actually donating some repacks too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, everyone's there to bring the kids out. It's usually a good time. So,
grab a drink for mom and dad, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop the kids off. Go up, get a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Give the kids some cash, let them spend it. Nothing better than that.
Yep.
So
the one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and it actually stemmed from an argument I had with my friends in a group chat that we're in. We're all in a fantasy football league together. I think there's 12 of us total. We were talking the one day about a rival sports team, a player that you really respect. Mm-hmm. For example, I said, and I got lit up for this guy, and I'm not sure why, but I said I always respected David Wright when he was on the Mets, when I thought he played. See, what?
Because, honestly, was he a good player? Yeah. But it's not he wasn't like a superstar that you could just say, all right, you have to admit he's good. All right, now here's one. All right, ready? All the Eagles fans hate this.
Go ahead. Tell me
Eli Manning. Right. He's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's the definition of average.
So, but he
literally has a 500 career record.
Hey, he won Super Bowls.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
So that would be David Wright, good player, but
I can't believe that. See, and this is where it's frustrating because he was a good player, but he did things the right way. No pun intended.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He
never got in trouble.
He was a team guy. He played hard. I felt like he was, with the media, he was always a good. He was just, and that was the question. That it kind of was hey, do you think he's a great player? Do you respect him? This and that. He was just a guy from a rival organization that you were yeah, you know what? I respect that guy.
Yeah. So I guess you could. All
right. Well, who's?
He never really beat the Phillies.
True. He was part of that collapse too that they had in 07.
I mean, so that's the reason you get the face because it's just not if you told me honestly that you as an Eagles fan that you would like respect and collect Dak Prescott.
That's ludicrous.
Well, that to me, that's what you think of.
Okay.
You know, when you say like Troy Aikman, like you would never collect Troy Aikman as an Eagles fan.
I feel like it can't be like every city like has to have like that one team that like the guy can't be from there. Like no one in that conversation could say a Cowboy and be like, oh, I really respect Tony Romo. Like, small college, build himself up, this and that. Like you would get destroyed because you said a Cowboy. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Who are some other ones? Like who are some like?
Well, it depends. I mean, are we just talking Philly, or are we just talking like if you're a Dodgers fan, something like, or Mets Yankees, or college? Like I personally, I can't collect Ohio State guys.
So that's kind of brings us into what we're talking about here today. Is it okay to want, like, let's say you open up a pack and you get an auto from a team that you hate. Are you instantly thinking, like, I got to sell this thing?
Oh, it's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. Like, I can look at, like, say, A.J. Hawk. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal linebacker at Ohio State.
Yeah.
When he played against Penn State, we go to those games, you can respect them.
Yeah.
Like, I can sit there and say, he's a good player.
Yeah.
A lot of fans can't. They sit there and they just trash it. He's terrible. Well, if he was on our team, would he be terrible? No.
Yeah.
Guy's an All-American. He was a phenomenal player. I can respect that talent. Just same thing with like Eli. Okay. Was he terrible? No. Okay. Was he better than Donovan McNabb? Yes. Oh, I'm calling you out. Better than McNabb.
Are you
I would, no doubt, I would rather have Eli on those teams. If they were winning Super Bowls. No doubt. No doubt.
Wow.
And one of our fans called you out on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it.
Who?
I forget the guy's name, but he said you are not. He called BS that you were on the one clip because you talked about McNabb being your favorite quarterback, of all time. And he said is not. He's like, it is Carson Wentz, and he said you even have the Colts Carson Wentz jersey to prove it. So people are saying that they think you're full of fluff here, man.
No, listen, like McNabb, like I said, childhood, all those years going to the NFC title games, playoffs, I
think you liked him because he was a basketball guy too. I think that's the real reason.
So you really think that Eli Manning is a more talented quarterback than Donovan McNabb?
Quarterback? Yes. Athlete? Probably not.
Okay.
Quarterback? Yes. Right. No doubt. No doubt in my mind.
Brock, who's like a professional sports team that if you get a card, of one of their star players where you're just like, no, like get it ready for sale. Get it ready for
Ohio State.
Okay, he's a Penn State guy.
He is. He is a Penn State
we
guy.
Are.
Sure. What pro team? Like if you got, say, like, you like the Eagles because you like Saquon. If you got anybody from, say, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, you're liking Jaden Daniels, right? Okay, you can respect that. He's not. Brock's probably not throwing any of them away.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest. But if he knows if that card can make him money, he's going to move.
Well, like, what about, like, let's say, we're all Penn State fans here. Let's you get a Micah Parsons auto. We
collect Michael Parsons. We have a lot of Michael Parsons.
Because now I'm getting confused on like what is.
I'm not like that whole like, oh, the Cowboys. I could care less.
Yeah.
If they have a good player and he's fun to watch, I like watching him.
Yeah.
I can take that talent that these guys have, and you're like, hey, that's a good player.
No, yeah.
Micah's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Micah's fun to watch. I probably like him now more than I liked him at Penn State.
Interesting. So we went into the mailbag, and I saw one of the emails that we got from one of the listeners had a question. Do you think that over the next few years, some of the hobby is going to, because I think we can all agree, like, the hobby kind of slowed down a little bit at times. And then I know during COVID, people got really back into it. They searched through their old stuff. You know, it took off again. Do you see a possible dip down back in the hobby a little bit? Do you think it's one of those things where it's going to go in some waves, peaks and valleys, if you will?
I mean, if you go by, I don't want to say history of cards, but you just go by, like, stock market, it's going to go up and down. It's going to ebb and flow. I think with this hobby, you have to look at it more of, are collectors going to stick around when you have breakers pulling everything? Now, I think it's twofold. The breakers can cost the collectors a lot of money, because if I want to go buy something, a box of something, they're driving the price.
Yeah.
But also, all those breakers are pulling singles and selling them cheaper than I can buy a box.
Yeah.
So if I'm somebody who wants to collect Micah Parsons, I can go find a Micah Parsons single a lot cheaper that somebody else pulled in a break, who's pulling case upon case upon case.
Yeah.
So so I don't think breakers are bad for the hobby. I don't know if they're good for the hobby either. But so I think that's going to control I think there's so much out there now, and everything's so different. I don't know if it's going to go back in the dumper like it did. Just because there's a lot of...
I'd be kind of curious, like you mentioned, the history of cards. I would actually be kind of curious of, like, what led, because I think we can all agree, like, we were all collectors and into it. Like, it was kind of a back burner hobby for a decade or so. You know what I mean? It felt like, and I don't know, I'm not really sure why. I know people had talked about COVID, when people were at home going through stuff, kind of really sparked some things, and then it took off. But I thought that was a great question that somebody reached out and asked us about, you know. But like you said, it's kind of unpredictable, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Big man, what do you think?
I wasn't even here. I was letting the dog back out.
Well, put your mic up so we can hear you. So the question was, do you think, since the hobby is up right now, do you think it's going to pretty much crash, or do you think it's just going to either stay the same or move up? What do you think? What do you think the state of the hobby is?
Football?
You can pick up any sport.
Probably stay the same or go up.
Okay.
Depends on what the card is. Like uptowns are going down, but during the season they might go up back up.
Do you think they're making too much? Do you think with now uptowns and downtowns, and you see them popping up even more now, do you think they're making too many of them?
Uptowns, I think they're making too many of them. Downtowns, like, I might see them like once a day, but that's still normal.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some good questions.
That's what you gotta love about this show, Dan. Because you got old, me, okay, middle-aged, you, and a young viewpoint, which is Brock.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys got it all.
I wouldn't say you're old.
Oh, older than you.
Yeah.
So
What are you, 35?
add about 12 to that, and we're good.
All right. Okay.
Do you want to hear the joke of the day?
Sure. We got a joke of the day. I like that.
Let me find it real quick.
I got one too then after you.
Fat.
All right, no more joke of the day's done from Brock.
Yep.
All right.
So a bartender, somebody walks in, sits down and says, "Hey, can I get the Wi-Fi password?" And the bartender says, "You have to buy a drink first." And the person sitting there says, "Okay, I'll take a Pepsi." Bartender pours a Pepsi. That's $3. "What's the Wi-Fi password?" Bartender says, "You have to buy a drink first," all lowercase.
It's good. Got you. Wow.
That's what it's come to. That's
pretty much
you know, and we need We got NHL Stanley Cup going on right now, NBA Finals. Yep. There's a lot to talk about, and we're throwing out some jokes here and there. I like it.
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk NBA Finals.
All right.
Okay.
Anything about
What the Halliburton?
What's the
Halliburton?
now? Last year, everything in NBA was Wemby mania.
Yep.
You had to get Wemby's. You had to get Wemby's. Had to get Wemby's. This year, there really wasn't anything. It was kind of dead.
No.
Now everybody's excited. Cooper Flag.
Yep.
Do you think that any of these guys playing, like Halliburton, playing in the NBA Finals, do you think his stuff's going to go up? Or do you think it's just a flash right now because he's in the Finals? Does it hurt that it's two small market teams?
I was actually kind of thinking about that. Like what when people talk about like the small market and the big market and everything like that, and you're kind of seeing it on the NHL side too. Like you have Edmonton, and then Florida is, But to answer your question, I think especially if they win, like if the Pacers win this, they were one of the biggest underdogs in NBA Finals history heading into this.
They were underdogs every
step of the way.
Play series.
Yeah. And the way they have
I didn't think
won,
they beat the Knicks.
No, and the way they have won some of these games with the late double-digit comebacks, like on the road, like the fourth quarter Halliburton legend is growing. So I do think some of his stuff will go up in a spike or two, like over the next month or so at some shows. Where you see like if you have some of his stuff, I think you could probably raise the price a little bit. But I think once the finals are over, there's too much of a big gap, and football starts and everything. So I don't think it's going to be too crazy.
Do you think NBA and NHL card guys are hurt? Because say they both end next week, which very well could. Football starts in a month. We all know in the offseason everything dips. But then by the time NBA starts up again and NHL starts up in November, we're getting ready for, we're halfway, 3/4 way through the NFL season. It's pretty high then.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think they're hurt by it? Because let's be honest, not many people pay attention to the NBA and NHL until almost football's done. Till college football's done, till NFL's done. We're looking at what?
3 months.
End of January, being in February.
Yeah.
And then you have those 3 months where there's really nothing else besides, hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
And everyone's just waiting for football again.
Yeah.
Sometimes the NFL draft is more excitement than the NBA does, right?
Well,
now.
if you go on, so this is the perspective that I kind of, have on it. There's a week off before the Super Bowl, and then there's like a media week, literally like built up to the whole game, no matter what market teams are playing. If you turn on ESPN or if you go on ESPN.com right now, some of the lead stories while the NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup is going on, some of the lead stories are NFL players not showing up to mandatory training camp.
Yeah.
That shows you right there. Like one of the top stories on ESPN yesterday was Deion Sanders has possible health concerns. And we're in the midst of the NBA and NHL finals.
Which are a pretty exciting series, right?
They are, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So but the NBA will argue their ratings are at an all-time high with the viewership that they've brought in. But the reason those numbers are a little skewed is because in the European, Chinese market, like overseas, everything, the NBA is just loved worldwide. It really is the worldwide league. But America loves their football. They just do.
Because I don't see, like, they can say that their ratings are at an all-time high.
Yeah.
But are they in North America? Because I don't think the NBA now is talked about as much as
No, it's not.
mid-'90s
No.
when you had Jordan and those guys.
Yeah.
Then it was, like, NFL did not overtake if the Bulls were playing in the finals.
Yeah.
That would never happen.
No, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine like the Bulls and the Jazz go have in one of those great series that they had, and if you turned on ESPN, the top 3 lead stories would be players, holding out from mandatory training camp, like mini camp. It's crazy. But
yeah, looking forward to our show.
Yeah,
on 21st. It's awesome. We got we solidified some more dates for we're almost booked out now through next April.
Yeah, it's
with
exciting.
shows.
It's exciting.
With shows. So we got our family of vendors who are with us. Hopefully they stick around with us. Got some some cool exciting places, expanding a little bit.
Yep.
Every show's getting a little bit bigger, a little bit better.
Yeah, we got some big news to drop soon. You'll see. So
yeah, that'll be a good day when we drop that one.
Yeah. But I feel good about today. It was good checking in with you guys, and as always, keep on collecting, keep on doing your thing, and we'll check in with you guys in a week or so.
Yep, keep collecting.